follow the ridge line, cross the river here, and arrive by morning.
The western approach is clear. What is this? Get this out of the way!
They found us! We have to move! They escaped! How did this happen? We had him!
My eyes! I can't see! What is that? Get back! Get back!
The dark woods, once a place of fear, now echo with happy laughter.